We asked people here today to kind of remind people of some of the things that have happened this weekend and to remind you of the need for the public's help in solving some of these crimes. As you know, the homicide that happened, little Ramon, on Friday, there are 2 arrests, 2 people have been charged, but that case is far from over. We need the public's help and additional information, additional identification in that case as well as others. There are a couple of homicides this weekend in the city. We made arrests in 2 of those homicides, and as you know, a lot of these things get solved when people that have information come forward and help us out. The city division has deployed basically nonstop over this weekend our gang impact squad. During their deployment over about 2.5 days, they've recovered a total of 16 handguns from all parts of the city and made approximately 15 arrests in connection with those handgun recoveries, those gun confiscations. So the men and women of the Division of Police, some of which you see behind me, are still working hard every day, contrary to public opinion and what's been put out there. And the handguns recovered this weekend that I cited earlier are just the work of one of our gang impact squads, just the work of about a dozen men and women of the division. The officers you see behind me, they do this every day. And we'll get you numbers later on what our totals are for the year as far as handgun recoveries, as far as our gun buyback. You guys covered that. But it's an issue in this city with guns that we have to tackle, and we need the public's help. Anybody that comes in contact with a weapon, whether at their home, where they find it on the street, can turn it in at any police district. You can bring that weapon and turn it in, no questions asked. Moms, grandmas, uncles, aunts, if you know somebody in your family shouldn't have a weapon, if they have that weapon in your home, get it out of your home. We found a weapon 2 days ago in a person's front yard, and I'm sure that weapon was hidden there because the young man that lived there was using that weapon, and he shouldn't have been in possession of that weapon. So relatives, look out for your kids, your young ones that are going in and out. You know the things they should and shouldn't have. You know they don't own a car, and if they're always driving around in one, you need to ask questions. Our people need to take responsibility for a lot of things that are happening in the city. Again, the administration division, we're working hard out there trying to make sure we put a lid on the violence that's happening, but we can't do it alone. We have to have your help. So with that, I'll introduce Mayor Jackson for a couple words.
Good morning. You know, I'm going to be very brief. What we have to do is own success and own failure. We can no longer be talking about what someone else should be doing. Everything that we've done in Cleveland that has been successful, we've done as a community. We haven't done it in a way of saying what someone else should do and what someone else should not be doing. We've all come together and we've tackled that issue. Now, we have a lot of things that we're doing in the preventive side. We have a lot of things that we're doing in the policing side. We have some real structural things that we're doing in terms of education, community benefits. All these things are in play. All these things are in play. But we have to be able to pull together in a way that makes it a community effort where it says very clearly that certain types of behavior will not be tolerated and other types of behavior is what we encourage. So again, I'm just here to support the Chief, Division of Police, and really to say to the families who have lost someone through violence that they have our condolence as a city, and me personally and the Chief personally, and we will continue to do what we can to ensure that violence is minimized or eliminated in the city of Cleveland.
Do you anticipate additional arrests in this case with the high?
We're currently still investigating. Wherever the facts of this case lead is where they lead. If there are other people involved, we're definitely going to do everything possible to get those people off the streets. Because as the mayor says, we're not going to tolerate that kind of behavior in the city. And as I stated on Friday, you know, what started as a beautiful summer day in the city of Cleveland ended with 5-year-old Ramon being killed. And there were dozens of people out that saw things. Some of those people have come forward and helped us, and we appreciate that. But there are other people out there that know things about this case that need to bring that to our attention.
Can you talk some about the gun trade? Is the number of guns being recovered match the number being stolen, or is it just a matter of guns on the street being stolen, resold, resold?
Well, Tom, it's a little both. It's people that have weapons that don't secure those weapons in their homes and they're being stolen. But you guys know there's also a huge illegal trade in weapons, not just in the city but across the country. And you know, we need stronger laws to make sure that weapons aren't in the hands of people that should not own them. And you know, this administration, Division of Police, you know, our state police partners have kind of, you know, espoused that for years. We need to strengthen those laws to make sure that people shouldn't have guns don't get those guns. You know, there are a lot of straw purchases out there where people who legally can buy a gun will buy dozens of weapons, and for the purpose of selling those weapons on the streets of our city. And it happens all the time. So we need to kind of tighten up on things like that.
Can you talk more about the two people charged in their involvement in the crime? Was one a target of the other?
Well, again, we're still investigating, and I don't want to get too deep in that because it's fresh. Our detectives, as we speak, are talking to additional witnesses, additional people, and trying to make sure we piece this together properly so that everybody that's involved in this case, everybody that had a hand in that young man's death, is brought to justice.
Are both charged with aggravated murder?
I can't comment on that right now.
But they're both charged?
They're both charged, correct.
Can you give me more information on the specifics of the gun history involved in this case?
Not right now. As you know, when we recover weapons, those weapons are traced through the FBI's NIBIN program. When that trace comes back, we'll find out, you know, who these weapons belong to, who last owned them, and if they were involved in other crimes. So we're piecing all that together. Again, our guys were out Friday afternoon all the way through the day. They'll be out ad infinitum from here on, and every day they're out there, they're recovering weapons. And we're feeding all those weapons into that system to see where they came from, so we can hopefully paint a picture on the things that need to happen to ensure weapons like that don't get on our city streets.
Why is it that despite the efforts being made by you and other agencies, why is it that the volume of trafficking in illegal weapons still seems to be out of control?
You know, Mr. Barris, I think it's just our culture right now. And not just in the city, but all over this country. You know, we have a culture of weapons and violence for whatever reason. And people go out and seek weapons, and they're readily available everywhere. I'm sure we can go in any neighborhood in this city or any other major city across the country, and somebody can tell you where you can go right now and buy a handgun, both legally and illegally. And that's the problem. So we have to deal with it. But thank you guys for coming. The mayor has to get up for the parade, but we would just want to put that message out there. We're on this, but we definitely need the public's help and continue in this fight, and we're not going to stop until we put a dent in it. Thank you.